My name is Isaac Charles Lewis, and I am a part-time employee at Best Buy. Well, I work in the home theater department, so I'm the guy who's giving you all the info on the televisions and the receivers and your home audio equipment and whatnot. Also, a member of their viewpoint team, so I help organize all the community events that we throw on, like Dance Marathon. A couple months ago, we jumped in Coralville Lake to help raise money for an organization. So it's a part time job, but some of the aspects make it a full time job. Well, when you first get hired on, you have to go through your specific orientation, which is essentially the store telling you what they expect of you corporate wise. Then it kind of gets broken down into your individual apartment where you're trained by, your supervisors and your full time employees and people who have just had a long tenure there. So you get trained by some pretty well educated people in your respected department. So yeah, that would be the training that gets done there. Really, it's all the interactions I get to have with people. That doesn't just count for customers that come in. I have pretty close relationships with the employees who work there as well. It's been a really fun place to work at. And sometimes with the people that come in, you get some pretty interesting stories too. So, yeah, I'd say the best part would be all the human interaction I get to have.
Know where that bridge is at?
Was down there. My degree was a bachelor's arts degree in English, specifying in nonfiction, meaning I wrote essays about me, my life, or things that have affected me, questions that I think need answered, and I try to answer them on the page. Um, so I guess writer would be, yeah, I got a degree in English, but it's specified in writing nonfiction pieces. Absolutely. I really can't get a lot of writing done when I'm out at Best Buy hawking TVs and setting up viewpoint events and doing all kinds of other nonsense. And really, it wasn't what I went to school for. So, yeah, I plan on leaving my part time job to go get a real job somewhere so I can make some more money.
Speaking of your English field,
I would think so. I mean, with other degrees, especially in the market today, it probably would have been easier to find a job right away. But in terms of what I want to do, like specifically what I want to do with my life, like if I got a business degree, I would survive financially, but emotionally it wouldn't be right. My heart just wouldn't be in it. So I'm pretty happy with the degree choice I made. I mean, with the economy and whatnot where it is, people are trying to find all kinds of different ways to make money now. And one of those ways is everybody thinks they're a writer. And there's some people who don't go to school for it and they do an okay job of it, but there's other people who don't go to school for it and they're not doing an okay job of it. Um, really, I mean, with all the crap that gets absorbed today in our culture, it's really tough to get like something smart. I mean, I still get my yucks from fart jokes. So, I mean, when I try to do something intelligent, some people just don't get it, or they just don't want to get it because it seems too smart or too nerdy. So it's when people realize that they're not writers, it'll be okay. And even I wouldn't consider myself a writer at this point because I'm just not. I mean, I've got the degree in it, but I don't have really the true experience of being a writer yet. I mean, currently I think of myself as a part-time Best Buy employee. So once people realize the amount of work it takes to produce work and good work on a regular basis, I hope a lot of people who just give up and decide to be writers stop doing that to make room for the people who actually went to school there and the people who have been educated to produce written entertainment for the people. I mean, I would. Not to everybody, though. I mean, I've had people in some of my writing classes at Iowa who, they took it just because they needed the hours or they kind of contemplated it and it really wasn't for them. I mean, if you want to be a writer, I mean, the place to go is the University of Iowa. It's world renowned. You're getting taught by the best. But I mean, you really have to have your heart set on it, and you have to be willing to expose a lot of things that normal people wouldn't expose about themselves. When I write, I dive in there pretty deep. So, I mean, there's no holding back because the things you hold back on are the things that people want to read more about. So, I mean, you really have to be willing to, throw yourself out there in order to produce something really good. Right. Write every day if you want to be a writer. I mean, keep keep a log of what you did that day. One thing I do if I have a really vivid dream, I'll actually write it out, and that way when I want to write about it later, I'll come back to it. I mean, if you don't want to be a writer, but you still want to pursue English, like you really have to have it in your heart. You have to love the literature you're reading. You have to love studying about it. You have to love writing about it. You have to love presenting it to people. I mean, and that's one of the good things about college. Is it's a medium where you can figure out what you're about in the first 2, 3, sometimes even 4 years. Like you're able to explore and find out what exactly you want to do with your life. So um, keep an open mind. I mean, I went with English obviously because I'm really passionate about writing. So, but there's more things in English that one can study. So, yeah, just keep an open mind and kind of get a grasp of what you're getting yourself into. In terms of the job market, right now it's tough. It's really tough. Trust me, I don't want to keep working part time at Best Buy, but in terms of like something that's out there, there's not a lot. So my advice to those of you who are also, getting ready to go out there and meet the real world, if you have a job, keep it. Oh, do not get rid of that job because someone else is going to gobble it up. And if you quit that job to go find another one and you can't find another one, well, you're not going to have one. So keep your job until you absolutely find something else. So I've started a website not that long ago. I've submitted some work to some smaller publishers. Haven't had any luck yet. So I figured if I bought some web space, I would at least get my name out there. It's spoojums.com. That's SPOOGEUMS.com. It's open submission, so if you send it to spoojums@gmail.com, I'm gonna take a look at it, and if I think it's really good, I'm gonna post it up. So yeah, if you're interested, feel free to email spoojums@gmail.com.